Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about how to really comfort yourself and calm yourself down after you've had a panic attack. I'm Orla Kirby, I'm a therapist and I help people to move themselves away from very severe anxiety and OCD. I do this using NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and also solution-focused hypnotherapy. And really I'm looking for people by the end of working with me to be feeling very deeply calm, able to connect with their true selves, their authentic selves, to feel confident, to feel powerful and strong, able to create the kind of life they want to create for themselves. Okay, so in terms of how to comfort and calm yourself after a panic attack, this is really important, and I'm actually going to do a whole video in a moment on exactly why it's so important to do this. But I'm just going to talk first about how to do this. How do I calm down? Now, you may already have your own excellent ways of calming down. Some people that I work with have really great methods for this already. Yeah, they seem to know almost instinctively what's going to really help here, what's going to shift them to a different state, what's going to be comforting and calming for them, right? And that might be different things for different people. Yeah, for some people it might be that they want to go outside and get fresh air. For other people it might be they need to sit down or they want to lie down. So there's some amount of kind of instinctively feeling into what would be helpful to you, because that might be different for different people. And so, like I say, some people have excellent methods for this already, right? And some people are great at calming themselves down afterwards and giving themselves the space and time for that, for nurturing and comforting themselves. Some people that I work with, though, I find aren't allowing themselves sometimes any time to recover, or any kind of time and space, or they're not doing anything in particular. They might go and sit down somewhere, but then they're just sitting down still feeling terrible, right? And they don't really have an approach or a method for making themselves feel better, for being calming and nurturing and comforting towards themselves. And sometimes people who are not giving themselves any time for it at all, sometimes that can come out of a sense or a feeling of shame or annoyance or embarrassment at the panic attack having happened in the first place, right? And this can be, again, I don't want to make it sound like it's one way for everyone. Of course, it's so many different ways for different people. For some people, it might be embarrassing if other people have noticed that you've had this panic attack, right? Maybe there's been very noticeable stuff that's happened and you're feeling very embarrassed. Or it could be that no one has noticed at all, right? For people who more have the kind of simply going into a kind of dissociated state, it might be that no one knew. And you're having this quite extreme, intense experience. And even your partner beside you didn't know, perhaps, or the other people at the party didn't know. And that can feel very lonely and disorienting. And like you just like to move on from that. Thank you very much. That seems to have stopped now, that awful experience. Let's just carry on, or kind of try to forget that happened, right? Which is very understandable. Or if you're feeling very embarrassed or annoyed at yourself, or just like this shouldn't be happening, or kind of down on yourself for it happening, you might kind of think, oh, well, I just want to forget about it. I don't want to think about that having happened. I want to just put that away and move on over here, or I want to, or you might even just be having a go at yourself, right? So all different possibilities. There's probably way other possibilities beyond that too, right? Or there might just be pressures of the moment, right? Maybe you're at work and you're like, oh, I need to get on with work actually, or I need to do this, or I need to, there's often just ongoing pressures and responsibilities too, right? However, it's really, really worth giving yourself some time and some space to recover and actively doing something or other to help calm yourself, right? So some things you can do and again, it's going to vary a bit depending on the situation you're in, right? And whether you can be on your own or not, how much time you've got. Yeah, but basically any form of hypnosis is great here. And particularly something that feels kind of warm and gentle and comforting. You almost want the equivalent of a hug, right? Now, whatever works for you, right? It might be something quite different for you. So again, just to say, really lean into your own instincts about what's helpful. Kind of ask yourself, what do I feel like I need right now? Yeah. For you, that might be a brisk walk, right? And thinking about a mountain, like who knows, right? So go with what you reckon and try different things when this happens different times, right? And just see what is the most effective at helping you to feel calmer more quickly or better more quickly, right? And kind of genuinely better, right? Not just pretending to be better or having forgotten about it, but actually at a deep level feeling calmer. For a lot of people, though, it's going to be really helpful to have something that involves warmth and kind of a sense of comfort. So you could, for example, imagine yourself surrounded in like warm golden light, or just warmth if you're more kinesthetic, or imagining, or actually connecting with, imagining someone who you feel like a lot of love between you and them, or a sense of nurturing or connection. And this could be someone who's in your life now. It could be someone from when you were a child who's not alive anymore even, right? But either connecting with that person, like texting that person or calling that person, or imagining them sitting beside you, or imagining them with their hand on your shoulder or something. Conjuring their presence for yourself may be really helpful here in this kind of like calming yourself. Equally, any kind of hypnosis is going to be helpful. So whether you're using breathing or imagining something that feels or sounds or looks beautiful to you or amazing in some way, remembering something that was enjoyable or something that you like doing, even if you can't do that thing that you like doing. If you can do a thing that you like doing, that might be an excellent time for this year if you feel up to it, right? But if you can't, just remembering. If you're someone who likes knitting, remembering the feeling of knitting. If you're someone who likes playing football, remembering the feeling of playing football, right? Or remembering, just really imaginatively going into the experience of having a bath. Maybe you can't have a bath right now. If you can, it might be a good idea to go and run yourself a bath, right? Give yourself that time to do something that feels good. If you can't, you could really just give yourself 5 minutes to really think about the idea of the feeling of sinking into that warm water and the lovely smells of whatever you're using. Maybe some special thing that you put in the bath that smells great. But it's going to be different things for different people, right? So it's hard to describe this because different people are going to find different things soothing or comforting. Maybe there's a particular song that you find really comforting and relaxing, soothing. So you could think of someone singing that song and just allow that to really fill you, right? So different things for different people. And again, it's going to depend on like the limitations or not of the situation you're in, the place you're in, who's around, who's not. But just to really go with allowing, right? That this is not a waste of time, because you might be feeling like, oh, the panic attack was a waste of time. And then if I spend time trying to make myself feel better, this is even more of a waste of time, or just that you shouldn't need to, or you shouldn't have had the panic attack in the first place. So you should be feeling, or, all of these kind of shoulds, right? That we can put on ourselves. It is a really valid and valuable use of time to comfort and nurture yourself right now, right? And in the next video, I'm going to go more into the why of that. Why is it such an important thing to do to comfort and nurture yourself in this moment? But yeah, any kind of hypnosis that you use, that could be breathing, that could be physical relaxation, that could be ID focusing. If you look back at the last video, the second to last video in this series, there was actually quite a lot of hypnosis in all of the videos of this series. But if you look at the one on imagination, there's different ideas there. And if you look at the one on moving yourself out of a panicked or a high anxiety state, there's other ideas there again that take you through different forms of hypnosis that you can use. But just briefly, that could be breathing techniques. You could use ID focusing, or you could use both of those together. You could use imagining something wonderful. You can use really relaxing your body and making your body super relaxed. If you can lie down and really super relax on the floor, amazing. If you are, say, at work and you can't do that, you could just really think about really deeply relaxing your jaw, letting your mouth hang open slightly, and just really relaxing your face. Giving your face the instruction to relax. Yeah, and that can be very deeply comforting. Okay. You could also use anchoring, which is a complicated thing to explain here. I'll probably do more videos on anchoring at a later stage. But anchoring is an NLP process where a particular touch is associated with a particular experience or emotion, or a combination of emotions. I do have a paid training actually on anchoring, so I'll link to that in the description. And I'll be making YouTube videos at some point on anchoring as well. But that's an NLP process where you kind of almost using, for example, this touch, or it could be this touch, or some kind of physical touch to link you into a different state. That's another thing that might be really helpful and nurturing at this point in time. Okay, so that's some ideas for you. And in the next video, as I say, I'm going to be talking about why it's so important to allow yourself this deep calming and nurturing immediately after a panic attack. And I'll see you in that video.